What has been around since the invention of the light bulb, both world wars, the first man on the moon, and the invention of the internet? That's right, the Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves are a firmly established team now, but the story behind the team finding their identity is marked with confusion, superstition, politics, and money. The Braves started out back in Boston in 1873, where they were called the Boston Red Stockings, but also informally known as the Boston Red Caps, or the Boston Nationals, to avoid any sort of confusion with the Cincinnati Red Stockings. So, in order to permanently separate themselves from those other name-stealing Cincinnatians, the Boston Red Stockings changed their name to the Boston Bean Eaters in 1883. Proud of their Boston heritage, the Bean Eaters also changed the capital B on their jerseys to Boston in big bold letters, which would have been all fine and dandy were it not for the fact that in 1901 a new team called the Boston Americans also had Boston written on their jerseys. Begrudgingly, the Bean Eaters changed their jersey symbol back to the Old English B. A few years and a bad season later, the Boston Bean Eaters were sold to the Dovey brothers in 1906, and much like how ValueJet changed its name to AirTran after a bad plane crash, the Dovey brothers changed the team name to the Boston Doves, hoping that it would allow the team to fare better. After continual bad luck, the name was changed again in 1911 to the Boston Rustlers, a name which only lasted for a year. Finally, in 1912, baseball player / part-time owner Monty Ward suggested the name The Braves for the team for the first time, and it stuck. A miraculous victory in 1914 prompted current owner James Gaffney to attach a Native American chief head symbol, the same symbol that belonged to the Tammany Hall New York City political organization that he was part of. Sneaky. A decade or two of design changes later, and following their worst season ever, the Braves changed the ownership again in 1936. The new owner, much like the Dovey brothers, thought an image change could save the team, so he renamed the team to the Boston Bees, and even switched the red and navy color scheme the team had since its inception to a yellow and blue one. After this didn't work out too well, the owner thought changing the colors back would do the trick. Finally, in 1940, he just gave up and sold the team. The new owner changed the team's name back to the Braves and became set on revitalizing the team, which included complaining about poor fan attendance in Boston, moving the entire team to Milwaukee, and selling it once it became more profitable, even setting attendance records in the 1950s. The new owner, William Bartholomew, then realized he could make even more money by taking the Braves to Atlanta and becoming the first baseball team located in the Deep South. Neither a public outcry or long legal battles would stop Bartholomew, who was finally able to move the team in 1965. Fast forward to 1976, when the team was sold to network owner Ted Turner, who attempted to modernize the team with fancy new powder blue uniforms. A few years later, perhaps like the former owner of the Boston Bees before him, Ted realized that changing the team's colors might not have been in his best interest. So, he changed the team's look back to the one from the 60s. Finally, in 1990s, the team abandoned the famous chief head, probably to avoid any future political correctness controversy, a la the Redskins. And there you have it. The Atlanta Braves' journey to achieve their own identity. Not exactly a glamorous history, but a rich one nonetheless.